Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and we're finally getting the first footage and first look at Mario Kart The Ride coming to Universal Studios in Japan on February 4th, 2021. A lot of people jealous of Universal Studios Japan. It will be coming, however, to Universal Hollywood eventually, apparently in either 2022 or 2023. They're still working that out. And eventually it'll drop as part of Epic Universe, the fourth park that's opening here in Orlando. We'll get it there eventually here in my neck of the woods. But we're getting our first footage, first exclusive look, so let's get through it all. I'm excited to share this with you guys. If you haven't seen it, I've gathered it all up from various sources. But here's a promotional image of sort of what it's supposed to look like with the game. You get to throw shells, apparently. They're not showing the goggles here, but every player gets to wear AR, augmented reality goggles, a headset that apparently is going to help sort of make the ride work and make it more interactive. Now, this looks cool. I'll be shocked if it looks this good. I'm sure it won't. The other thing that they're revealing and talking about more in detail are these power bands. Now, the power bands are part of the park experience to collect coins and things throughout the park. Sounds like a cool thing to do. Similar to the wands at Harry Potter Land, which my kids love. You get, I don't think there's enough of them, so hopefully there's enough interactions and engagement with these power bands, which I'm sure cost more money. They're not going to come with you into the park. But clever way to sort of be able to jump and make the sounds and collect coins and do stuff throughout the park. This is sort of another official promotional image. I mean, obviously kids aren't going to be able to do this, but this would be cool. But this is sort of giving the idea of like what it's like to be able to be interactive in Mario Land. So here's another ride, exclusive pick where they showed Yoshi's Adventures. Just looks like a very little kid ride where they slowly move around the actual Nintendo Land itself, which is cool for littler kids to have a Yoshi ride. So here we are. Here is the official park. The ride rather is called Koopa's Challenge, and that's in Japan. Here in the States, it'll be Bowser's Challenge. But here it is, the first look at Bowser's Castle. I mean, how cool! The steps that you get to typically ride up in your cart in the Mario Kart game, and then you get to see this amazing Bowser statue all in its glory. It looks pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of photo ops are going to be taken there. And then we get to go straight into the queue for the ride itself. The first revealed look at what the carts will be. It's a 4-person cart. However, it's weird. In all the other footage I looked at, they said it's a 4-person cart, but then right here, there's a 2-person cart. Clearly, that looks different than the others. But from everything else I've read, it's a 4-person per cart system on 2 separate tracks, similar to, I think, the Cars Land ride at Disneyland. But some really nice visuals here of what the park, what the ride's going to look like. They also get into some footage of the Nintendo Land, but I'll get to that in a second. Before I get there, I wanted to go through this. This was footage from Quick Bites over at Blumberg. They got to shoot some extra footage here, but this looks awesome. I love how they're using the pipes as lighting. A lot of little flourishes here throughout the whole queue as you wait, as she sort of breaks down. There's the trophy room, all the cups that you can win in the game, they're there in real life, which is a really nice little feature. And here she is in front of the steps that we showed to sort of get up into the ride queue. Some exclusive reporters got to come in, but this is the start of how you sort of walk in the castle. And so she remarks on how cool the looks are. There's a lot of little details throughout the main ride, and as she says here, reports on what they were shown for player carts, but then also you get to have your own steering wheel. Every seat has a steering wheel, as well as giving these augmented reality headsets. Now, I'm fascinated to learn what this is going to be like. Are those Google glasses? It's clearly not going to be fantastic footage to look at, but it's going to be something that could make or break the ride depending on how it goes. As she reported from this press conference at the park, it is a competitive game where you get to have 2 tracks, one on either side, and they get to ride there. One track on one side, the other track, apparently those will compete in points from people on the other side of the course. Again, similar to the Cars ride at Disney California Adventure, if you've been there, you sort of race a track and one of you wins. But also some of the Buzz Lightyear, and it's nice to sort of have some sort of tracking point system, whether you're collecting coins or shooting other people. But fascinating to see how that all plays out. But as she says, this has been in the works for 6 years. A lot of cool little details, lights, flourishes, and apparently each ride will be different for everybody. And so very, very, very cool look. Here on the park itself, I want to talk about. Well, here actually, she did break down some more information. She said the attraction is called Koopa's Challenge. It's located inside Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle is themed with a lot of cool banners, ceiling lights, giant statues, etc. Trophy lines. It's a slim headset with a visor, presumably for AR. I guess that could still be in the works. Each Mario Kart has 4 seats, and each set has a steering wheel. The cart is definitely on rails, but riders are given some control. They also collect items and throw shells at other carts, so that's fun. We saw 2 side-by-side rail tracks, suggesting your cart could be racing a competitor. Universal said each ride will be unique. It will be a unique experience, and visitors aren't guaranteed to win. Riders set off from Bowser's Castle in a race through different scenes, including a lava level, an underwater level, a spooky area, Rainbow Road, and more. The course uses AR projection mapping and other tech for immersion. In terms of social distancing, etc., headsets will be sanitized. Social distance will be enforced. They didn't get to see the whole park, but the castle seemed fairly small. And so that's another note I'm going to get to here as we break through. All right, so looking again at these images to give you all the sort of stuff that's out there, here is the official entryway. Here is that trophy room, which is really just cool to have all the trophies in one place. But they've added one new exclusive trophy, the Universal Cup. Clearly here, the only place to win the Universal Cup is at the park. So that's a cool little touch. And so here it again is the ride system. You get to see those look really nice. It does look like you're in the game. I gotta say, I like little details. The Lemmys over here, Bowser Oil. There's gonna be a lot of cool little flourishes clearly in this ride throughout the whole queue and everything. On top of that, here's that look at this sort of the visors. Everyone gets these Bowser visors. I mean, I just can't imagine that's gonna look good. It's such it's gonna look like a projection in the ride. Which, will that be cool enough? We're not. I just feel like the technology is not there yet. We will see. I look forward to people reviewing it as it comes forward. But using the augmented reality glass goggle is an interesting take. Obviously, though, in the world we live in now, look, I guess some of the rides at Universal here in Florida, they do hand out goggles, and they clean them like crazy. And so every time when you dump them, they're sanitized and they're brought back. So that actually probably could be actually safer than people realize, but I'm sure some people are not going to want to touch these goggles. But here we go. Here's the park in itself. I want to break this down because it's kind of interesting to see. They really have blocked it off into its own studio, its own set. And what's nice about this is you get to clearly have sort of a similar experience. If you've been to Dagon Alley over at Harry Potter Land, you get to walk through and then it's like, whoa, you're there. And so it's a similar vibe here where you're going to go through a tunnel. I hope there's some sort of cool projection, something to get you as you get through the pipe to get into the park itself, which she's right. It looks small. It looks very small. And even if you, if we colorify, here's a little bit more colorful version of it. You can see the park in its entirety here. There's a sort of a jumping area here with a little area to sit. And there's a little, this is supposed to be a shop, but that, I can't imagine that can be open for more than a few people. So it'll be interesting to see where the lines go, where people can wait, etc. Let me open up this image separately so you can see it, because as we look around here, like it's tiny. There's a person right next to the pole. Like you can't put a lot of people in here. Granted, they're still building. A lot of this was unfinished, but from a size perspective, especially given social distancing rules, it's strange. But here clearly is the Mario Kart ride. I'm imagining that's a shop, Mario Motors. And then this is all part of this ride system. And then there's another studio behind it, I guess, for the ride itself. Here you get a sense of what Yoshi's Adventures will look like, which is clearly a very tiny, small little Alice in Wonderland type of thing. Now, I mean, how much deeper can it go in? I hope pretty deep to give this a more fun experience than just walking around the outside. because doing a couple loops around here looks pretty boring, to be honest. But let's hope in here and inside here is a cool, style like Peter Pan ride, etc. Indoor ride to sort of see but it's interesting. They're going to go in and out multiple times. But that's the smaller ride. And judging by the footage I've seen, it's slow. So that'll be for the kids. And so again, look, in scale to, Harry Potter Land, it's bigger. It's definitely bigger here as you compare it from one to the other. But even here, it sort of just feels more open in Harry Potter Land. Whereas here, it's a lot tighter. There's a lot more stuff going on. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And even here, the park itself this is all part of the system, the riding and stuff. This is all part of the behind the scenes. Right here this is really where people are going to be hanging out, is this little hub. And when you look at it from, the high view, it looks cool. From the higher ground, it does look good. However, I'm very curious to see how it'll look from the floor. Will it be as cool and immersive feeling? We shall see. I imagine they've been keeping that in mind as they build. But that's the look of the park. Now, it's filled with a lot of detail here. I love these little details here of here's the Yoshi moving around one of the trees, hopping up and down, moving his hands and his arms side to side. It's cool. It's definitely cool. I like the little details. That's the thwomp. There's cool enough details here that could make this really work. And obviously there's so many little details for food and drink items that they're going to be selling at their shops. Clever little paper Mario straws. And there's a shop up top. A lot of merchandise. A lot of exclusive Mario merchandise is clearly going to be on display. Now, before I wrap this up and share everything, there was one, I couldn't find the clip, but to talk about the bands a little bit further, we collect things. The commercial itself looks like way more cool. It looks like, this, trying to trick you, like, you'll be in the game. However, clearly it's not. The one example they show is someone wearing the band, and there's a block. They have a question mark block, and while you're wearing the band, you can jump up, hit the block, and the block will, ding, and make the noise, and then lights up. And so it's cool, but I don't know why you need the band for that. So I've yet to see how the band will play in real life in a cool way, especially seeing how small this whole park is. Right here, sorry. There's not that much to play around in, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. I'm definitely curious at how the band technology will add, but that's being sold as one of the main, aside from the Mario Kart game, which is the big show off, and then the Yoshi's Adventure, clearly a little smaller secondary ride. We shall see. Now, there's rumors of a Donkey Kong Country being built right next door, and that'll be the next unveiling. But they want to obviously get this open and starting to work, given how expensive this was. This park cost $544 million allegedly, which would be $90 million more than what Universal is said to spend on Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now, I can't imagine that includes the licensing. That's just the park itself. So this is a costly venture with, I'm sure, Disney or Nintendo getting some of the profit as well. How they work that, who knows? But like I said, this will open up in Hollywood. It's opening in Japan February 4th, 2021. Hollywood apparently in 2022 or 2023, and then it'll be in Orlando as part of Epic Universe, the new park, the fourth park at Universal here in Orlando, sometime later. Unclear what those dates will be. But there you have it. That's the Super Nintendo Land, our first look at We Are Mario, the Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge, Bowser's Challenge here, I imagine, in the States. What do you guys think? I'm curious for your thoughts. For always breaking coverage like this and others, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit all alerts, and while you're at it, smash the like button and leave a comment for engagement. Join the Popcorn Planet family here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more coverage of all sorts of cool pop culture things here on Popcorn Planet.